as a target individual, a lot of the things that they love to do is to try and set you up for fraud or theft or manipulate, hack your system. So, for instance, I paid my rent as normal in my community. Before it was due, a week later, I went to check. It said that I hadn't paid, and my assistants hadn't been paid. I go by the rental office. They say, yes, no, housing didn't pay their portion. We don't have your portion. Nothing's here. I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because I paid it, right? And so I look into their systems. It shows all of the rent is owed. I write them a letter. I say, hey, follow up with me on this. I want to make sure that everything is good. No one has followed up with me on anything. I checked last night. It still said that I owed the rent, right? So I'm like, well, and so I checked last night as I'm going on my walk. It still shows that I owed, that housing hasn't paid. Now, mind you, I went to the leasing office of Irvine Company, and their own staff told me, like, no, your account is not up to date. We don't have any money. We don't have, anything. In fact, they charged me a late fee. And so I'm just like, screw it. No one's answering me back. I'm just going to go up to housing and see what's going on. I go up to housing. They're like, yes, matter of fact, we paid on the 4th because the holiday, Labor Day, right? And so they're like, yeah, we paid on the 4th. Everything is good. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking for some kind of receipt so I can basically show them that it was paid, right? Of course, all our government agencies have been infiltrated, okay? So they all have people working for them. I don't know why I thought I would get any help, but of course the worker was like, oh, we can't provide you with. And so, of course, the housing worker's like, well, we can't really provide you, with any proof that we paid. I can just tell you that it was paid on this date. Meanwhile, I go into the system and voila, suddenly my account is updated as far as the housing, but not as far as the rent that I paid, right? And everything is just match according to the dates. And so I'm telling the housing, I'm like, well, they told me to my face that you didn't pay. Their system is saying that you didn't pay. Why can't you do anything about these people lying, saying that you didn't pay? They're like, oh, well, we don't get into that because that's like, a tenant dispute or whatever. And so I'm just like, okay, I can't even believe that this is our country and that celebrities are allowed to use their government ties and this FISA bill to literally terrorize American citizens, and that American citizens are a part of this fraud, that they're a part of this fraud and of this theft, that there's this whole criminal organization on the underbelly, okay, of our society, okay, that these everyday citizens and workers are taking a part of, right? Meanwhile, I have not committed any crime, but I have all these people treating me like I am a criminal. It makes me wonder if the higher ups at Irvine Company know what these lower level employees are doing as far as racism and fraud and all of these, activities. And it's fine because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. But um, I just wanted to keep a record, okay, of what I'm experiencing. I had Amazon try and get me for fraud and theft. you know they had all these weird companies in this system trying to stick these fraudulent charges on target individuals. I had Amazon try and set me up for theft, even though they have been trying to charge my account for things that I have already returned. Okay. Um, so I don't know who the next president's going to be or what's going on. At this point, all we can do is pray to God that everyone that has been a part of this system of attacking innocent Americans is brought to justice, that their companies are being destroyed, their companies are destroyed, that all of the American citizens that stalked and harassed innocent people are all put to jail and their professional and personal lives. And it's just so crazy that somebody that you don't even know, or you can piss somebody off, a celebrity, and then they can just put your name on this government watch list, and then all of a sudden you're being stalked and harassed, and people are lying on you, and people are tampering with things, and you know, people who don't even know you, okay, or being weird, treating you evil. This has been going on for 20 years, all right? Meanwhile, all my information is being put out on the streets. Meanwhile, since my daughter has been a baby, she's been trafficked on the dark web because they record everything, right? With illegal surveillance, putting cameras in your houses, in your vehicles, tapping your phone, hacking your email. So even my daughter, my children, I am a victim of trafficking, right? And they create like this bubble of isolation so you can't reach out to the police because the police are on the payroll. You can't report to FBI. The FBI is on the payroll. All of our government systems are like so corrupt. My family has known about this since it started in um 2005, okay, here. So being targeted and harassed by family and them lying to everybody about what's really going on with me, like so many things, corruption, lies, them murdering my mother, and just terrorizing me from St. Louis to California. All of these things being done and sanctioned by the U.S. government, all right? And these celebrities who have ties and can place a target on. Mind you, all this started years ago when I was in my early 20s, when the internet was just coming out over a rap beef between 50 Cent, The Game, and Eminem, and Jay-Z, Beyonce. All these people were part of it. And because they have access and these government ties with, you know, various presidents, Barack Obama and such, all they have to do is make a phone call, and it's just like, put this person in or whatever. We know trafficking goes on at all levels, but this, well, child trafficking is worse, but just the forms of human trafficking and how they profit off of terrorizing people for sport and broadcasting this. The cellular companies are part of this because they send out your private information to these people that. And so, again, mind you, cellular companies are a part of this because they send out all your private information to these gang stalkers, and just basically to anybody you come into contact with. You can't even make friends because as soon as you make friends or try to do business, they send all these reports of lies, and then, you know, people start acting and moving weird. You try to find a job, they send these false reports and these lies. Next thing you know, you can't get a job. You know, it's just ridiculous that, you know, you could be put through all of this not having committed a crime, not having anyone answer for what they've done, no due process, anything. But I thank God because I know that every faction of this system and everybody involved in it will be brought down, will be struck down and destroyed in Jesus. And you know, so again, you know, the hacking and all of that stuff, it's literally crazy right now, the level of games people are playing because they need a reaction, they need you to go crazy so they can find a reason to lock you up. But baby, that's not what it is. Okay, I'm too grown. I have grown children to take care of. That's just really not what it's gonna be like at all on any level. But I just want to encourage those. I don't even really align with it. I know what it is, but I don't claim it. All right, but I know what it is to label it for others that are being harassed and gang stalked. All right, and that have been put on this government watch list, target individuals, all right, by this FISA bill that Obama re signed and gave them more invasive permissions. The whole thing is wrong. It's an energy harvesting system because they're allowed to spy on you and your homes. We're not even talking about the 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 illegal science and testing that they're doing on people, right? The implants, okay? Um, and the way they spy and steal your ideas so they can profit, and that's why they need to keep you, not working and not getting any help. All right. It's the level of human trafficking done by the United States government and these celebrities, again, is horrific. All right. But we serve a mighty God who rules over everything. And I promise you, justice will prevail. For everyone, save women, protect children, all right, and pray over our next leader that this gets